Think clearer, live freer, and master the art of personal transformation. All of this is possible if you understand the right principles. How you do it, we'll explain now. Do you know this feeling? We often dream of being happier, overcoming our inner conflicts, or finally living authentically and freely. But as soon as we delve into the topics of self-realization and personal growth, we often feel overwhelmed and unsure where to start. It seems like there's only a small group of people who truly understand the secrets of a fulfilling life. But it doesn't have to stay that way. In this summary of the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, you'll learn how to fundamentally change your thinking to lead a freer and happier life. We reveal the 4 powerful agreements that help you gain emotional freedom and live authentically. Get ready to expand your understanding of yourself and take the first step towards a fulfilling future. Imagine a world where your words hold immense power, where others' opinions don't affect your inner peace, where assumptions don't cloud your judgment, and where you always give your best effort. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, according to Don Miguel Ruiz, author of the 4 Agreements, this world is within your reach. Let's dive into these life-changing principles and see how they can transform your reality. Our story begins with Sarah, a young professional struggling with self-doubt and anxiety. Every day she battled negative self-talk, took criticism to heart, and often found herself in misunderstandings with colleagues and friends. Sarah felt trapped in a cycle of stress and disappointment, always feeling that happiness was just out of reach. One day, while browsing a bookstore, Sarah stumbled upon the 4 Agreements. Intrigued by its promise of personal freedom, she decided to give it a try. Little did she know this book would become her guide to a more fulfilling life. The first agreement: be impeccable with your word. Sarah began with the first agreement: be impeccable with your word. This meant speaking with integrity and saying only what she truly meant. She realized how often she engaged in gossip or used self-deprecating language. Sarah started by paying close attention to her words. When tempted to join in office gossip, she chose to remain silent or change the subject. When faced with a challenging task, instead of saying, "I can't do this," she rephrased it to, "This is difficult, but I'll do my best." As days passed, Sarah noticed a shift. Her colleagues seemed to trust her more, and she felt a growing sense of self-respect. The power of her words was becoming evident, not just in how others perceived her, but in how she viewed herself. The second agreement: don't take anything personally. Next, Sarah tackled the second agreement: don't take anything personally. This was particularly challenging for her, as she often internalized others' actions and words. She recalled a recent incident where a co-worker snapped at her during a stressful project. Usually this would have sent Sarah into a spiral of self-doubt, but now, armed with this new perspective, she realized that her co-worker's behavior was more about their own stress than about her. Sarah began to see that what others do or say is a projection of their own reality, their own dreams, fears, and experiences. This realization was liberating. She found herself less affected by criticism and more capable of maintaining her emotional balance. The third agreement: don't make assumptions. As Sarah progressed, she encountered the third agreement: don't make assumptions. She realized how often misunderstandings arose from her tendency to assume rather than ask for clarification. In her personal life, Sarah had been avoiding a conversation with her partner about their future, assuming she knew what they wanted. Gathering courage, she initiated an open discussion. To her surprise, her partner's thoughts were quite different from what she had assumed, leading to a deeper understanding between them. At work, instead of assuming a project's requirements, she started asking more questions. This led to clearer communication and better outcomes, earning her recognition from her superiors. Before we continue with the fourth agreement, if you're finding value in these insights, please take a moment to like this video. Your support helps us create more content like this. The fourth agreement: always do your best. The final agreement, always do your best, resonated deeply with Sarah. She had often pushed herself to exhaustion, trying to maintain a constant level of best performance. Now she understood that her best would vary from day to day, depending on her health, mood, and circumstances. On challenging days, she learned to be kind to herself, acknowledging that her reduced capacity was still her best for that moment. This agreement brought a sense of peace. Sarah no longer berated herself for not meeting impossible standards. Instead, she focused on giving her best in each situation, leading to more consistent effort and less burnout. As Sarah implemented these agreements in her life, she noticed profound changes. Her relationships improved, her stress levels decreased, and she felt a newfound sense of authenticity and freedom. But Sarah's journey wasn't without challenges. These were days when old habits crept back in, when she found herself slipping into taking things personally or making assumptions. However, she learned that this too was part of the process. The agreements weren't about perfection, but about consistent effort and growth. One particular powerful aspect of Sarah's transformation was forgiveness. She learned to forgive others for their own shortcomings, understanding that everyone is on their own journey. More importantly, she learned to forgive herself for past mistakes and current imperfections. Sarah also discovered the importance of living her own dream, not someone else's. She had always been influenced by her parents' expectations and societal norms. Now she took time to reflect on what truly mattered to her, making decisions that aligned with her values and aspirations. As Sarah continued to practice the four agreements, she noticed that her fears began to lose their grip. She became more willing to take risks, to speak up in meetings, and to pursue opportunities she would have previously deemed out of reach. This journey of self-discovery also led Sarah to develop a greater awareness of her thoughts and actions. She became more mindful of the agreements and beliefs that had been unconsciously guiding her life. Some of these she chose to keep, while others she decided to let go of, as they no longer served her growth. One of the most significant changes was Sarah's ability to embrace change itself. Rather than resisting new situations or unexpected turns in life, she began to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. This shift in perspective made her more resilient and adaptable. Sarah also started paying more attention to her physical and mental well-being. She realized that taking care of her body through regular exercise and healthy eating not only improved her physical health, but also positively impacted her emotional state and ability to implement the four agreements. Communication became a focal point in Sarah's life. She strived for clarity in her interactions, both personal and professional. This not only reduced misunderstandings, but also deepened her connection with others. Perhaps the most profound shift was Sarah's ability to live in the present moment. She found that by focusing on the here and now, rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, she was able to fully engage with life and appreciate its richness. As we conclude Sarah's inspiring journey, we invite you to reflect on your own life. How might these 4 agreements transform your reality? Remember, change doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, you too can experience the freedom and authenticity that Sarah discovered. We invite you to pass this video along to friends or colleagues who may find these impactful principles useful. Together, we can foster a community focused on personal growth and meaningful transformation. Ready to revolutionize your habits? Don't miss Letters from a Stoic by Seneca and discover how the right philosophy can lead to big success. Or perhaps you're eager to harness the power of manipulation. Influence by Robert Cialdini is perfect for you. Click now and decide which knowledge you want to dive into next. The choice is yours.